Thank you. Next up, we're going to hear from another dreamer, Marisol Estrada.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Marisol Estrada, and I am a dreamer who grew up here in Georgia. Georgia is home, and I arrived here when I was 5 years old. My mother brought me into the United States for an opportunity at a better life, to also escape violence, and for a better future for myself and for my family. Growing up, I never would have thought that being undocumented would have the implications that it has to this day. I remember being in high school and wanting to apply for a job to work at my local Sonic or the local Kroger bagging groceries. But in order to do that, I needed a social security number, which I thought that I had. Unfortunately, when I asked my mom for my social security number, my mom told me that it did not exist. And I couldn't believe that because when I was in school, I was taking all of these standardized tests where I had to fill in a social security number. And I would raise my hand and ask my teacher for my social security number, and they would give it to me. And so to find out that the number I was being given my whole life is just a student ID number really crushed me. And to find out that because of that 9-digit number, I wasn't going to have a level playing field as all of my peers really put me into a hole of depression. I called the suicide hotline. I did not see myself succeeding in this country at all. Thankfully, I enrolled in something called the International Baccalaureate Program, and for me, that was going to allow me to go anywhere in the world to further my education. And so thankfully, I had a high school counselor come up to me, and she told me that she knew my secret, because back in the day, I did not share my status with anybody. Back in the day, I would have nightmares that ICE would come into my classroom and ICE would take me and put me into deportation proceedings. That was my nightmare, but it was also my reality. And to have my counselor come up to me, tell me that she knows my secret and that she is going to help me find a way to get to college made a huge difference in my life. And thankfully, out of a miracle, well, not really a miracle because undocumented people have been fighting for a pathway to citizenship for a very long time, but Obama introduced the DACA program. And the DACA program gave me the 9-digit number I needed to be able to start working. It gave me the 9-digit number and the work permit in order to have a driver's license here in Georgia. But unfortunately, what it did not do was allow me to further my education. The Supreme Court of the United States ruled on a case called Plyler v. Doe that allows for undocumented students to be able to attend elementary school, anything K through 12, and that's exactly what I did. However, there is nothing in Georgia that allows undocumented people to go to higher institutions of education, and the schools that we are allowed to attend, we have to pay out-of-state tuition. I graduated early from Armstrong State University because I took as many courses as possible, and I worked more than 5 jobs a semester in order to make ends meet. I applied endlessly to scholarships, and when my teachers found out that still was not enough, they created a scholarship for me called the Marisol Scholarship, and I was able to graduate thanks to them. And not every DACA recipient in Georgia is as lucky as I am, and I'm very aware that I was put in a very good position with people to support me. But I am not alone. There's more than 21,000 DACA recipients, and there's even thousands more of students that do qualify for DACA, but currently are unable to apply for the program. So I urge everyone in the legislature, every constituent in the state of Georgia, to ask their representative to make higher education equitable. We're not asking for a free ride. We're asking for a level playing field. Thank you.